Hi everyone! Welcome to Souped Up Recipes. Today we are making 大盘鸡. This is a funny name because 大盘鸡 means a big plate of chicken. The chicken was stir-fried first, then stewed with potato pieces and served on top of noodles. It was created in 1980s along the highway in Sha Wan, Xinjiang. It was made to fit truck drivers' taste, so it got lots of influence from many different provinces.
For this dish, we usually use bone-in, skin-on chicken. Turn the chicken breast side down. Use a sharp pair of kitchen shears to cut along both sides of the backbone. This is an optional step, but I prefer to remove it because it doesn't have that much meat. You can save it for another day to make chicken stock instead. Chop the chicken into chunks by using a heavy-duty cleaver. This chicken is pretty small, about 2.5 pounds without the feet, the head, the backbone, and the inner bit. If you don't have a cleaver or you think it's annoying to deal with bone-in chicken, you can use boneless chicken thigh instead. Marinate the chicken with 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1.5 teaspoon of salt, 1.5 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of 5-spice powder, and some white pepper to taste. Mix well and let that sit for about 30 minutes.
While the chicken is being marinated, we can talk about other ingredients. You will need some Xinjiang dried red chilies. We call it Xinjiang 现辣椒. It's not spicy, but slightly sweet, and it gives a lovely peppery aroma to the dish. It also provides a bright red color, which makes the presentation so much nicer. I don't have access to buy it, and that is like the main problem when you live abroad. I have been testing with many different dried chilies because I want to make this dish taste the same as the ones that I had in China, and I found these. The name is called Guajillo dried chilies. I got it from a Mexican grocery store and it works fantastic as a replacement.
We will need 4 pieces of this Guajillo chili. Use scissors to cut them open. Soak it in hot water for 10 to 15 minutes.
Another key ingredient is 郫县豆瓣酱, fermented board bean paste with chili oil. 大盘鸡 is born in Xinjiang, but it has a deep connection with Sichuan cuisine. That is why we're using 豆瓣酱 here.
The board beans in this sauce are quite firm, so I like to put it in a blender to even out the flavor. By now, the dried chilies should be rehydrated. Put it in the blender as well. Add a splash of water to make sure everything blends smoothly. An optional step, let it go through a sieve to get rid of the stubborn seeds. Set the chili paste aside. Let's prepare the vegetables. I consider potato as the must-have item in this dish. It's just so soft and flavorful, I can't say no to it. You just peel and cut them into big chunks. I will make it the same size as the chicken pieces. Soak the potatoes in water so they don't turn brown while we are working on other ingredients. Cut 1 medium-sized red onion into big pieces. Use the roll cutting technique to cut some green chili pepper and some red chili pepper. Different colors will make the dish look nicer, but if you only have one color, that is okay too. We will also need 6 to 8 slices of ginger. Slightly crush 10 to 15 cloves of garlic. We will use half of them for the stir fry and reserve the rest to add at the end. Cut 8 to 10 scallions into 2.5 inches long. Separate the white and green part. We only need the white part for this dish.
The last ingredient that I want to talk about is Jiao, also known as Sichuan peppercorns. It's not spicy at all, but it gives you a numbing and tingling effect, which is one of the key elements in this dish. Today I'm using 1 tablespoon, but you should adjust it based on your preference. While everybody's taste buds are different, please use a small amount first, like 1 teaspoon. Sichuan peppercorns can be overpowerful and ruin the dish.
Add 4 tablespoons of oil and 4 tablespoons of sugar to the wok. Turn the heat to low, stir it constantly. We will caramelize the sugar. This is going to take a few minutes. It might look like a lot of oil, but this dish is more than 5 servings, so it's actually not that much if you divide it. If you are using black cookware like mine, that is hard to see the color change. You can use stainless steel spatula to lift up the sugar so you can check it carefully. Once you see that it changed to a red or brown color and the sugar is bubbling in the wok, you can quickly toss in the marinated chicken and turn the heat to medium-high. Stir the chicken until it is coated with the caramelized sugar. Then add in the crushed garlic, the ginger slices, the white part of the scallion, and the Sichuan peppercorns. Continue to stir for 5 minutes. Push the chicken to the side. You can see that there is more oil appearing in the wok because the chicken will provide some fat. Turn the heat to low again. Add 1.5 tablespoons of soy sauce. A little liquid ingredient will help drop the wok's temperature a little bit, which makes it easier to saute the chili paste. We used low heat here because the fermented board bean paste is an ingredient that can get burned easily. Stir the chili paste for a minute or two. Mix it with the chicken. Continue to cook until all the chicken is coated with that nice glossy sauce. Then we will add 4 cups of water.
Basically, the chicken is stir-fried first and then braised until tender. That is why I insist on using bone-in chicken as it adds some depth of flavors to the dish. If you're using boneless chicken, you can use stock instead of water.
Cover the lid. Use high heat to bring this wok to a boil. Then turn the heat to low. Now we can taste and adjust the flavor. I add about 1 tablespoon of salt here. You want it to taste a lot saltier than what you normally like because we still have a lot of potatoes, chilies, and onions on the side that we will add later. The chicken takes much longer to cook than potatoes, so we will let this simmer on low heat for 30 minutes, and then add the potatoes. Continue cooking for another 20 minutes or until both the potato and the chicken are soft and tender. If you're not sure about the time, just give it a try to check the taste and the texture. Toss in the reserved red onions, garlic, and the chili pepper. Give it a final stir and you are almost done. Let's cover the lid and move the wok to the side because we will cook some noodles. This dish is often served on top of 裤带面. Ku dai means belt because these noodles are wide, kind of like belt. Some of you might notice that this is very similar to biang biang noodles. In fact, it is biang biang noodles, a classic recipe from Shanxi province, which is another hint that you can tell this dish is a combination of multiple cuisines. I made this dough ahead of the time. Now I just have to pull the noodles and cook them. I do have a separate video that I showed you how to make biang biang noodles. The recipe link is in the description. You can check it out if you need it. Let the noodles cook in the boiling water. If you don't have time to make biang biang noodles, don't worry, you can use any white noodles. Fettuccine will work perfectly. You just have to follow the cooking instructions on the package. My noodles are freshly made, so they only take a few minutes to cook through. Look how wide the noodles are. That is why they're called belt noodles. Fish them out, shake off the excess water, place them into a big plate. Serve the 大盘鸡 on top of the noodles. This is so smart. It's like you are making one dish, but you end up with a complete meal that is enough to serve 5 people.
Look at this plate. It's so big that you can tell this dish inherited the enthusiasm from Xinjiang cuisine. The people there are just so friendly that they want to serve as much food as possible when they have guests over. Whenever I order this dish from a restaurant, I always go with the potato first because I just know it's gonna taste good after it's being simmered in such flavorful soup.
The chicken is tender and savory. It is spicy, but you don't really get the heat at the first couple bites. It will hit you slowly. It's like tricking you into eating more. The onion was added the last and only stirred for less than a minute. That is such a smart move because the onion is still a bit raw and fresh, which is great to balance the tanginess.
I hope you give this a try soon. If you did, leave me a comment, let me know how it goes. As always, don't forget to check the description where you can find all the links, including the printable recipe, the related videos, the purchase links for special ingredients if you don't know where to buy them, or the tools that I used in this video. Thank you for watching and I will see you next time. Bye!